Okay. Right. Yeah, that's what I like. Okay. Sorry about that. Looks like I'm ready. Check the sound.
Sorry about that.
Right, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to you brothers out there that's listening and learning and supporting the ministry, to the sisters as well. Title of this GMS algorithm is going to be it's an extra. It's going to be called the Bitcoin Trap Blockchain Snare. Alright, and basically what I'm going to be doing is looking at Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space in general, which obviously surrounds the blockchain, and I'm going to tie it in with the mark of the beast and the system that the mark of the beast is going to rest upon. Alright, and let's not forget that first and foremost, the glory goes to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. The mark of the beast is his prophecy. It's a manifestation of his word, alright, which was delivered unto John the Revelator in the book of Revelations. But we must needs give credit to the prophets, the men of the Lord of today, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who keep this particular prophecy on the forefront of the ministry. You know, beginning with a well, let's check this out. The personal channel of the apostle and elder Tahar is called What is the 666 mark, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And this is the personal channel of the apostle and elder Tahar. So that should just show you right there, that's on the mind of the apostle. Alright, they've been teaching and warning the people of the mark of the beast being the implantable RFID chip. Alright, since I've been watching them and before, which is going on what year are we in? 2017. Going on what, 8 years? Alright, that the mark of the beast is this implantable microchip. Let me show it on the screen. It's got a very specific purpose. When they're going to like that, it's not because the mark of the beast is the implantable microchip. Squishy area there, which is great. Right? That this guy is administering. This is the mark of the beast. Alright? This is what people are going to be receiving in their right hands or in their foreheads. Okay? Pursuant to the prophecies. Alright? So he's about to inject the mark of the beast into this person's hand. And this is what's going to be required of all world citizens, man. If you want to be a citizen of the world, you want to be a citizen of the particular country that you reside in, beginning with America, you're going to be required to receive this mark. Alright? And if you receive this mark, you're going to be destroyed. And again, let me just show you, this is the Apostles channel. So the reason I'm pushing out this prophecy is because I'm following the example set by my apostles and elders, and they broke it down, and now more and more we're seeing this the system, the foundations being set for the mark of the beast to rest upon. And that's what we show you in these algorithms. We show you the system, the foundation being set for the rollout of the mark of the beast. Alright? Hey, Shalom Makolaf. Yabba Hashem Yahweh Barakatah. Alright? So what I want to do is I want to play a quick clip from Aaron Russo, who was an insider. He was given some inside information from a member of the elite, because the mark of the beast is the plans of the ones who control the beast. The beast represents what? NATO and the EU. Who controls NATO and the EU? The elites. Alright? The elites. The international bankers, the elite banking families, they control the beast. Those who are known as the Illuminati. That's what they call themselves, the so-called Illuminati. So let me play this clip right here.
The ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing the inception. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is getting straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do,
everything.
That chip is connected to a database. Remember that.
Everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all the money in those chips, and they control the chips, and they control people, and you become a slave, you become a serf to these people. That's their goal, that's their intentions.
Right. And ultimately, if you're spiritual, what's really going on is these elites who are Edomites are really trying to establish the everlasting kingdom for themselves. They're trying to establish their own blessing, because they never received the blessing they wanted from Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Jacob received the blessing that they wanted. Okay, the children of Israel, Jacob, have received a promise of an everlasting kingdom and everlasting rulership from Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. And the whole New World Order, which they conceived in 1776, is nothing more than a ploy by the Edomites, not the bankers, by the Edomites, the elite of Esau, at establishing themselves, man, at overturning the judgment and the will and the word of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, overturning the curse which is placed upon them, overturning the blessing which is placed upon Jacob, and switching it around, right? And they've spent the last, what, 300 years towards that goal, towards that end. Alright? You got May the 1st, 1776. And everything you see today, the system which is being built, all these technologies stem from that initial idea. That's the power of ideas. And you have an idea, and then what? You put yourself to work to achieve that idea. You see, a lot of people think all these different technologies which rise to the forefront is happening organically. No, these technologies, ultimately, the reason why they get to the position they get to, why they're funded the way they're funded, why research is being done to that level, is because they play a role in an idea, in a plan which goes back, way back to May the 1st, 1776. Alright? But anyway, let's get rid of that. Let's get the book of Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls it all meaning what? Universal. Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive Salakia, it's the elder hollering at me. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, what is the purpose of this mark? And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, when you're talking about all people and you're controlling transactions, okay, you can't do that out of thin air. You have to have a foundation. You have to have a system. No matter what you do, no matter what you do in life, you have to have a system. If you're going to organize a football league where you're going to control the games, when the games are going to be played, blah blah blah, you have to have a system of operation of how you're going to set up that league. So you might write all the teams' names down, then you're going to come up with a schedule, then you're going to, you have to have a system to do things. If you want to have a football league, something as simple as a football league, it doesn't just happen out thin air where you say, we're going to have a football league and boom, everything just falls into place. No, the organizers, which organ goes back to what? Body. To organize. Your body has organs. The organizers of that football league come up with a system on which that football league is going to operate on. So it's the same thing when you want to control the buying and selling of the entire population of the planet. It must needs that you have a system by which that idea or that enterprise is built upon. All right, and that's what we do here at the Algo. We show you that system being built before your very eyes, manifesting through these various technologies that are being brought to the forefront: blockchain, cryptocurrencies, AI, quantum computing, the Internet of Things, cloud computing, cloud storage. All right, quantum satellites. It's all part of the infrastructure being built for the mark of the beast. All right, now what's the next thing I wanted to bring out? Because I want to go into this blockchain, but I always try and lead up with some education, because I don't know who might be watching. You might be new to this, so I want to get you to understand. So I'm going to, before I get into the Bitcoin, I'm going to deal with some of the blockchain scalability issues.
Let's say 4 wheels move the body to.
Right. At this moment in time, okay, you got the GMS algorithm playlist. You can check that out as well. What do I want to do now? Right. So let's have a look. Let's educate ourselves. All right. This is what's known as the data processing cycle. All right. It's time. Listen. We're not dummies. Esau has pushed that out for years, that as Israelites we are not sophisticated people, which the word sophisticated goes back to what? Sophia. Goes back to wisdom. That we are not a wise people. We are incapable of sophistication. That is a lie. Because our Father in heaven created sophistication. He is of sophistication. Sophistication is of him. He is wise above all. He created wisdom. Alright? And we are his sons. Alright? So we are more than qualified to use our talent, our brains, our potential to understand sophisticated system. So let's get into something here. You ain't gonna get this at ISUPK. You ain't gonna get this at these other Israelite groups because they treat you like you're an idiot. They dumb you down. We're not here to dumb down people. We're here to enlighten you, man. And when you receive the light of Yahweh Shai, one thing you get with that is the knowledge, of the ability to deal with knowledge in all things. We're not dummies. We're not morons. We're not monkeys. We're Israelites. Alright? Get that nigger mentality doesn't belong in the truth. I can't do this. I can't get this. There's no can't. We could do all things in Yahweh Shai. Alright? This ain't rocket science. Let me just I just want to let the elder know, if you want to call in, you can call in at any time. Right. So data processing cycle. Why am I showing the data processing cycle? If you want to have a system whereby you are controlling what people are buying and selling, that equals transactions. You gotta not only record the identity of people, you need to record those transactions. That produces what's known as data. Yeah, you all got a data plan, right? You all got a phone. You got to store your phone records are all stored on your phone. Who you calling, your text messages. You get the little sign on your WhatsApp saying data has been backed up. Data, transactions, everything you do in this society produces data. Alright, you're using Facebook, is data. Using the internet, data. Data moving from one place to another being stored. If you want to have a system whereby you encompass everyone, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, you want to identify those people. You got to have all those records. You also have to store all their transactions because you want to control their buying and selling. You want to control their transactions. Again, this system, using your brain, should say to you, wow, that's a large amount of data. You had a thing called the Doomsday Book. Let's do some history. Let's do some history now. You had something called the Doomsday Book. When the French Jake invaded and took over English Jake. Let's see if we can get a quick, because this ain't nothing new, the Doomsday Book. Let's see if we get a quick, alright, let's see if we get a quick explanation of the Doomsday Book.
Wait, can you look at this?
In the year 1085, King William I, who had ruled England for almost 20 years after his victory at the Battle of Hastings, was holding a meeting with his officials and bishops. According to the words of the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, the king had great thought and very deep conversation with his council about this land, how it was occupied, or with which men. Then he sent his men over all of England into each shire, commissioning them to find out how many hundreds of hides were in the shire, what land the king himself had, and what livestock upon the land, or what dues was he owed from each shire during the year. Also, he commissioned them to record in writing how much land his archbishops had, and his bishops, and his abbots, and his earls, and though I tell it at too great a length, what or how much each man had, who is an occupier of land in England, either in land or in livestock, and how much money were it worth. He had it investigated so very narrowly that there was not one single hide, nor a yard of land, not even an ox, not one cow, not one pig that was left, that there was not set down in his record. The record the Chronicle spoke of is the Doomsday Book, a grand survey carried out by the officials of the Norman king, which allowed him to understand which land and resources he owned, and what was owed to him by other landowners and people. 2 volumes were produced, providing over 832 folios of information that is astonishingly comprehensive for its time. In parts of it you do learn about the landowners and lands in England, where they explain what property was being held, down to the number of oxen and pigs one had. You also learn over 13,000 place names, including castles, markets, monasteries, and towns. Some portions of the work are more detailed than others, and some places, like London and sections of northern England, are not included in the records. Still, for any historian of medieval England, the Doomsday Book is an invaluable resource, which can be used to study the economic and social history of the period, how the royal government operated, and understand how various nobles built up their fortunes. For in many places in England, the Doomsday Book is the first mention of their existence, a starting point for their history. Printed editions and translations of the work are widely available, as well as countless books and articles studying various aspects of the records. A new online database of the Doomsday Book has just been launched by the Prosperity of Anglo-Saxon England project, which will allow even better access to this medieval masterpiece.
Yeah. So, the Doomsday Book. Now, are you gonna have a Doomsday Book in 2017 or 2018 to record everything and no, it's impossible. You can't do it with paper. You're talking about how many transactions in the world on the visa system, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about ridiculous, because you're not even just talking about them individual transactions. Then you're talking about movements of resources and goods. There's so much data out there now, it's ridiculous. It's just dumb. You can't put that shit in books, man. You can't have no Doomsday Book. That is like the medieval times. Alright? We're in a new age now, where everything is a transaction. So there's loads of data. So going back to the image, right? If you're gonna have that mark of the beast, you're gonna be producing a lot of data. So then you gotta go back into what? The data cycle, right? Data processing cycle. So the first thing you have is your data collection. What's that? Your RFID reader. Yeah, the device that's gonna be recording the information. The first step in everything. Your iris scanner. These are all these devices which record information. Iris scanner, your CCTV, your keyboard. All these things is a way of data being collected and input, right? Inputted into the system, right? Then that data needs to be processed, right? Which takes what? Processing power, computing, output. Then it needs storage. Okay. In fact, I got an actual better one than this one actually. I got a better one that goes into it a little bit more modern. Collection, preparation, which is the manipulation of data into a form suitable for further analysis and processing. Input, processing, output and interpretation, and storage. Alright? So this process, this cycle, which the mark of the beast is gonna need this at the levels that you're talking about on a worldwide scale. You're gonna need just some crazy storage system and some mad processing power, and you need something that's going to be able to interpretate the masses of information that is going to be produced. This is where the blockchain comes in. This is where cloud storage comes in. This is where AI comes in terms of interpretation, optimization. So what I want to do at this point is I want to show you, you can skip that. I want to show you a video by Google. Where is that video? So this video is a video which is published in 2013 by Google, and it's going into quantum artificial intelligence. Okay, so they're using quantum computing and artificial intelligence, and we're gonna be able to pick a lot of points out. Now don't forget that Google and NASA are straight up New World Order pieces, man. Major New World Order companies, man. NASA, Google, IBM. Okay. Okay, I think the elder wants to say something before I play this. Salaki, let me just check, see if the elder wants to call in now before I play this video. Okay. Hey, shalom, Yabashim Shabrakata. Alright, let me, you want to put you on loudspeaker, man? Give me a second. Make sure this is loud. Yo, say something out. Let me make sure it's loud enough.
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom.
Okay, that should be good. I think that should be good. I go up. You could go up.
Hey, shalom, Akim. Yabashim Shabrakata. Hey, man, you know, all praise and glory be to Yabashim Shad, double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. Much love to all you, Akim, out here, man. You know, the brother is going into a beautiful topic, which I didn't get to see his introduction leading everything in, but I have a feeling of where he's about to take the thing. And the data processing point is an excellent point, you know, to start off with, because whenever the internet was being assembled, if everybody remembers, and you know, this is another point that Dex, the Algo capitalist, you know, we listen to him on Road Money sometimes. This is another point that he likes to go into, which is a great point. He talks about how back in Wall Street, when he was a day trader on the floor, everything was done by pencil and paper. But he remembers the transition, you know, during the 90s, when they were hiring all these people to do data processing. And this is the early age of the internet, when they were moving all the data that was written. When you used to go into these places, everything was on paper. Even in dentistry, we had paper notes for all the patients. And so it took almost 10 years for all the data that was written on, you know, in all these offices on pieces of paper, to have people do data processing, where they was taking all these records and typing it into the internet. So you didn't have to have anything stored on paper anymore. So you have this period during the 90s and maybe like the very early 2000s, you know, where you could get hired on at a job to do data processing, man. And even today, when you go into these major corporations or a call center, all you doing really for that corporation is processing data for them that they have with their customers and storing it online. Once they figure out an automated service, an AI service to do that, they don't need your black ass no more. You know? So we've been watching this development happen for the last couple of decades, but it's so kind of like behind the scenes to people that are just worker bees. That they're not seeing how everything is being uploaded, how everything is data, being able to process data is key to ruling the world, man. And we use this example of the English and French war. How was that war controlled and ran? You had the Rothschild families have courier systems to transport messages to and fro more quickly than everybody else. So they could get the information on who won what battle, what troops are being moved, what supplies were needed in certain areas. They had that information weeks before even the other generals and leaders of the armies had the information. Thereby, they were able to control and predict and prophesy, so to speak, over what needed to happen. And this is what these systems will do. When I have a tremendous amount of data on my patient base, I know how many crowns I'm going to sell in January. I know what insurance I need to have because I know who uses what. I know the trends of the markets. I know the people's minds. When you're looking at the trends of the market, you understand people's mentality, what they're thinking, what they're going to do before they do it. So when these systems of blockchain are going to basically facilitate data processing in a way that we haven't even imagined, man. And this computing technology is going to allow the blockchain to just work, this quantum intelligence, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to highlight how data processing for us changed with the internet. When we were taking all these pieces of paper and putting it into the web, you know, this net of information, you know, and how now that's going to go into hyperdrive, man. You're going to have basically nets on top of nets communicating with each other real time, which is unprecedented. You know what I'm saying, Art?
Yeah, Khan.
Yeah, so I just wanted to highlight that point because that data processing point you made, we can't let that one slide. We gotta go. You know how I like to do. I like to repeat things. So I just wanted to repeat that data processing point, so we won't forget it when you go into this next section of information that you're gonna go into. Remember that's a key point. You know.
Khan.
But anyway, man, I just want to highlight that again, bro. Excellent point so far, man. You know, Brandon, continue with you. Keep bringing this thing on out, bro. You got me hype already, so you might have me call in a couple times, man.
Yeah, Khan. Yeah, Khan. Hey, bro. You know what it is, man. My phone got battery. Okay.
Yeah,
and I got a data plan.
I just woke up. I was like, oh my, oh me. Let's go, champ.
Good.
Hey man, shalom, my man.
Hey, shalom. Yabashim Shabrakatah. Yeah, excellent points there, man. Excellent points. Hey, I told you, that's the level we on, man. Sophistication, man. Breaking it down. Alright, we are above these elites, man. You gotta look at these elites as your mini-me. Alright? Now, I wanna, yeah, I just saw this article here. Face it. AI is better at data analysis than humans. Exactly what at the end there, what the Elder Ariella was talking about, the ability then to take that data and to analyze it to come up with trends and predict the future and all that kind of stuff, and make decisions and make solutions, man. How many people you need to kill that week to get the system efficient. That's what the AI is going to be doing. How many undesirables need to be eliminated in the next 2 hours to keep the system efficient? This is what we're dealing with here. But anyway, let me jump into this Google video right here. We're starting from 144, baby. And this goes back to what, 2013. Okay, because they've been working on this quantum computing for a minute now. And quantum computing is going to change everything. Alright, it's what they need. It allows for way more processing power than your conventional binary processor, your Pentium. Because of Moore's law, the growth in your binary system is slowing down. Okay, Moore's law, look that up. Okay, there's only so many capacitors or whatever it is that you can fit into a processor, where you're going to start slowing down as to the amount that you can increase it by. Quantum computing is just the next stage, because it's not binary anymore. And if you want to learn about quantum computing, hey, you can watch this whole video, because it kind of does go into it. Alright, it's the new thing. Alright, it's about to explode, and it's not for personal consumption. Quantum computers are very expensive. This is going to be used by the system. This ain't something that's going to be in your Apple Mac. Alright? I know some brothers were complaining how expensive the new Mac was. I don't fuck with Apple anyway. Alright, but let me play this video. I'm gonna stop it and pull some points out.
Computation is one of those instruments that's going to allow us to see quantum effects at the human scale.
Google and NASA have teamed up to share one of the world's first commercial quantum computers. This machine, made by Canada's Z-Wave, will be installed in a NASA research center in California.
Let me ask you a question. Who controls all these research centers? Who controls Google and all these major companies and IBM that are doing all this research? The elites. Because to do research, you need money. I ain't talking about you going and researching quantum. I mean real research. I'm talking about if you want to do real research, you can't go to work. If you're a scientist and you trying to develop a quantum computer, you can't do that part-time. Yeah, you can't go work in McDonald's or you know what I'm saying? You gotta be paid. Even these you need money to buy the equipment you need. You need money. A lot of these top universities, these professors do research. They rely on what? Donations. They rely on foundations giving them money for their research. Research is controlled by money. If you don't have the money, you ain't going to be able to fund your research. It takes money, high cost equipment. When you need something built to task that's not mass produced, that costs a lot of money. Alright, now do you know it's in the scriptures that the wicked elite would be into research? Let's get that. Psalm 64. I always bring it out, man. The secret counsel of the ungodly. Let's read real quick. Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. And what's that evil matter that they encourage themselves in for the last 300 years? The New World Order, as they call it. The Edomite World Order. They commune of laying snares privily. Because like I said, the whole blockchain, Bitcoin, smart, all this stuff is a snare, a system which is basically a prison that's being a technological, technocratic, technological prison that's being built, technological bars, and the people are none the wiser. They're not aware of the sinister plans of the elite. So it's a snare that's being built privily, that they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. What do you think Google and IBM and NASA are doing when they're developing these quantum artificial intelligences? That's a diligent search. They're searching out the means by which to achieve their enterprise, their device. This is all biblical. How do we achieve what we want to achieve? We have these plans, we have these goals. Let's find the best scientists we can, give them millions if not billions, and let's see where we can get to in both the private and the public sector, which they control both. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, because these elites are not thinking about that the average person is thinking about things on a low level. They're thinking about being able to buy themselves a nice German car, a brand new Audi, a brand new Mercedes. These elites for the last 300 years have been thinking about establishing what? A new world order, global governance, man. They're not. How many Edomites you think you know that wake up in the morning and think about ruling the world? They're wondering what they're going to eat for breakfast, man. They're wondering whether some bitch they spoke to last night is going to call them back. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about world government. The elites do. That's what they think about when they wake up in the morning. That's their game. That's their fun. Establishing this new world order. Alright? So I just had to put that out there. So let me continue on with this Google, because it's going to make some brilliant points.
This is the inside of one of our dilution refrigerators. All of this infrastructure is to basically operate the chip at a temperature that's 2 orders of magnitude colder than interstellar space. The processor is a quantum computer.
That uses things called qubits, as well as being either 1 or a 0. Qubit can also be both at the same time, therefore bringing about a quantum leap in terms of power.
Harnessing principles of reality that are, up until very recently, completely not observable by us is just fascinating in ways that I can't completely articulate.
The overwhelmingly obvious killer app for quantum computation is optimization.
Optimization problems are extremely difficult problems.
Actually, all Google server centers together will not be capable of coming up with the best solution to these optimization problems as they get larger.
Yeah, optimization. Yeah, optimization, the ability for them to analyze large amounts of data, process that data, and come out with the most efficient solution. They based upon the current computing power, it ain't on the level they want it to be. This is where quantum computing comes in. You gotta remember, these systems are still growing. Alright?
So now, what is an optimization problem? I'll give you an example. You want to do a trip through South America and you want to visit a number of cities, and then you ask, what is the cheapest ticket I can get to visit, let's say, 20 cities? And you can, of course, different routes and different airlines, and sort of imagine I list all the different options I have for my different routes to travel to these cities.
We currently, in civilization, we generate vast amounts of data. It could be climate data, genomic data, but it's very difficult to generate useful insights oftentimes from that data.
If you can solve optimization problems better, you have an important resource at your hand.
You see exactly what I was just talking about? What is the mark of the beast gonna produce? Vast amounts of data, and not only that, because the buying and selling encompasses everything. It encompasses everything. These guys are trying to control everything. You understand? They have a problem, and they on their way to solving that problem. Okay.
I think at least it teaches us that we shouldn't be naive about the world, and we shouldn't think about the world as a simple machine. It forces us to consider, more sophisticated notions of how the reality around us is actually shaped.
I can't ask it how long I'll live or the meaning of life. Really, We don't know what the best questions are to ask that computer. That's exactly what we're trying to understand now.
To me, the most important question is, are we alone? And I have a feeling that quantum computers, as they mature, are going to help us answer that question.
This is, of course, a more long-term research endeavor, and there are still tremendous obstacles and big questions. Some of those will be addressed at the
The thing is,
some will be addressed.
The elites know exactly what questions they want the AI and these supercomputers to solve, like how they're gonna live forever and all that crap. Okay, they know exactly why they funded these. But you see, a lot of these people, these scientists, they're bugged out. They don't even know what the real reason is behind. But they're just useful, you know.
At NASA and some at Google.
I wasn't sure I would be able to experiment with a quantum computational device in my lifetime, and now I'm confident that I will be able to.
How amazing it is that we, with our monkey heritage and monkey brains and monkey fingers, have somehow lucked into a brain that allows us to ask.
Did you hear the guy say monkey heritage? These people are, man, Esau. Oh.
Legitimate questions about the nature of physical reality. That's so cool.
It's that human risk to go forth into that unknown frontier. Whether it's space exploration or quantum exploration, we do it because we must. We do it because that's what it means to be human.
Right, so there you have it, man. All nice and warm and friendly. Some BS, but that's what's going down out here, man. All right, now I want to move on to the blockchain and what's been happening, and then I want to finish off with this properly. Right, so as you all know, you got Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin and the blockchain has been like a movement, an underground movement. Like the elder Ariana would say, it's almost an extension of the truther movement. It's really, in the beginning, was filled with two types of people. You had the nerds, who just, you know, are just into computers and that kind of crap. And then you got the people who are looking for a way out. They're looking for a way out of the current system. The overall culture of people who tend to be involved up to this date in Bitcoin and blockchain technology surrounds the need to escape the current system, and most of those people are truthers. So they're like anonymous type people. They're against the government. They're against the system, so to speak. This has been the prevailing notion, and that's what has made blockchain very appealing to most people that have come into the blockchain as of today's date, I should say. Or maybe really I should say prior to around 2 months ago. Because now the whole environment's changing. That money is involved. Okay, all right. The whole blockchain was built around it being decentralized and trustless. So this was perfect for people who hated the idea of centralization, centralized government, centralized banks. So you know what? This blockchain is going to free us all from this system. So I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to take part in this. All right. Blockchain is known as a trustless system. It's decentralized, meaning there's not really anyone in control. The algorithms are in control. All right. And if you understand how the blockchain works, you got a series of nodes, and all the information has to be processed on those nodes at the same time, and it all has to add up. It's known as a trustless system. If you want to know more about that, you can go back and watch the algos, or you can simply watch a 30-minute video which explains blockchain and why it's trustless. Okay, so we got to understand that. Now, what's happened recently in blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies? You got several cryptocurrencies or infrastructures which are being built upon blockchains. Now, many of these infrastructures are still in the stage of being an idea in progress. Some of them are already up and working as to what they're supposed to be doing. So you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, you got the whole Ethereum blockchain. There's a whole host of companies and tokens which are built on the Ethereum smart contracts. Ripple, which is the bank's coin. Litecoin is a fork of Bitcoin, faster. You got Cardano, which just came out of nowhere, and I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what Cardano does. You can look that up. IOTA, another infrastructure there. Dash, a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. Monero, supposedly, you know, that one's in the dark. You know, you can't trace the transactions or whatever. EOS, Neo, BitConnect, Amisco, another currency. Zcash, Tether, I think that's something to do with being pegged to the US dollar or some shit. Verge, all these different coins. There's just so much. Sirecoin is based upon storage capacity. Salt is based upon lending US dollars for cryptocurrencies as with cryptocurrencies as the collateral with no credit history. That's not up and running yet. That's still an idea. Golem is I believe computing power, access to worldwide computing power. That I believe Golem is. You know that's set up by a so-called Jew. Fucking Golem. Anyway, decentralized supercomputer that anyone can access. Okay, so that's what's Golem, and that's all being done over the blockchain. So you got, you know, there's just so many coins out there and infrastructures that are being built around blockchain. Okay, it's just ridiculous. It's dumb. All right, I mean, it's just endless. New companies are starting up every day, trying to build an infrastructure on the blockchain, and more companies are going to go over to the blockchain. Okay, so if you're an engineer right now, a computer science graduate, if you want to make money, what you really want to do is learn how to build, maintain, and operate blockchains. And you're about to make a whole lot of money, because that's where it's at right now. Okay, that is exactly where it's at. But Payer got their own coin. Oh, Payer. Oh, okay. All right. So this is what's known as CoinMarketCap.com. Now, what I want to show you is what's changed in the cryptocurrency or the blockchain markets. Let's look at the market cap. Now, the market cap represents the dollar value of all the cryptocurrencies and tokens combined. All right, so this is total market capitalization. Now, let's go back. This is all time. What I'm showing you is all time. If we go back to 2013, when this was first being recorded, the market cap for Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies that existed at that particular time was, what does that say? 1.5 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. A trillion is 1,000 billion. Okay. And as you can see, you go, you know, 2013, it's there and thereabouts. 2014, not much going on. It's pretty flat. You get a little blip there in 2014. There, May 2014, the market cap is there about 6 billion. So it's moving up. It's gone 10 times here in about a year, 10 times, but it's still, you know, as you can see on the graph, it's not moving that fast. It's dipping back down now. 8. It's dipping. It's 4. It's 3. Okay? 4, 3, 7, 6, 7. Alright? Right now, it's filled with a bunch of people, truthers, basically. Ah, fuck the banks. Ah, blah, blah, blah. Blockchain, nerds. Now, all of a sudden, this year. Woo! Let's look at this. Let's look at this. This is 2016. It's at 12 million. So, between 2013 and 2016, it's gone from 1.5 billion to around 12 billion. Now look at this. 2016 going to 2017 now. Boom, 21 million, 21 billion, 25 billion, 27 billion, 29, 79 billion, 100 billion. Dipped a little bit. Dipped a little bit. Uh-oh, towards the end of this year. Uh-oh, 200, 300, 400, 500. Let's look in just the last 3 months. What's occurred? Okay? This is money coming into Bitcoin, coming into Litecoin, coming into Ethereum. Look at what's just happened in the last 3 months. Look what's happened. And in the midst of this time, you got a lot of people getting rich. So now you got a situation where you got these decentralized blockchain, and now it's starting to take off. Now you're getting more and more of the masses buying into the blockchain, buying into Bitcoin. And this is going to cause a few issues, okay, which I'm going to discuss. All right. Now you got 2 things that's happening. The people who were already invested in Bitcoin, they're now rich as hell, but their wealth is in Bitcoin. Their wealth is in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And then you got these other people who are coming into the blockchain, not because they want to escape the banks, but because they heard one guy took $100 and turned it into $1 million, and they want to take that opportunity to make that kind of money. They don't care about the decentralization. They don't care about it being trustless. The only thing they care about is, can I get rich off this blockchain? And this is the masses of the people that are now entering the market within the last month. Okay, within the last month, it's gone from 228 billion market cap to 500 and damn near 600 billion in market cap. And this has caused issues on the blockchain. All right, and the issue is scalability, which is something I've recently learned about. All right, now the issue with the blockchain is the decentralized nature of the blockchain gives it a problem when it comes to processing the masses. See, everyone wants the blockchain to become a global phenomenon which overtakes the system which already exists. But a system which already exists, which is Visa, MasterCard, can handle the load of that is currently in the world. The blockchain cannot, because of its very nature. So let's read a little bit about it, man. Like I said, I'm educating you now on the blockchain. This is the infrastructure that the mark of the beast is going to be built on. And I'm going to show you how a snare is being set, right? The money that's being piled into this blockchain is going to bring more and more people. Uh-oh. Okay, give me a second. Hey, shalom, Yabashim Shabakta. Okay. Okay, alright, no worries. Okay, let me put you on loudspeaker and I'll get it. Wherever you want, this I'll get it for you. Yeah, you on loudspeaker.
Hey man, Shalom, Akim, Shalom, man. I just want to real quick highlight what this market is about to do. Because the brother is about to go into the scalability of the market, and basically how and see, when you go to this visualcapitalist.com, it'll say the world's money markets in one visualization to see. You can find where the visualizations there, markets. So animation visualizing the market. I want to see. There's a section over here. Well, it'll allow you to basically. It'll do.
Okay, I think.
Basically, find it.
I think I might have found it. Is it?
Sorry.
Is it a video? Oh, is it this?
No, it'll be just like a diagram. You know, Crypto for the People always pulls it up. Crypto for the People always pull up this website, and then he'll go, and it'll show like $100 billion blocks, and it'll show you the size of each market by chart. You know.
Okay, let me see if I can find that.
And it's on this page, but I'm trying to remember which tab exactly.
It's on Crypto for the People's channel.
Yeah. I mean, he always pulls it up onto this page. He always goes to his website and pulls it up, you know. And let me see. Let me look on this page real quick, because this will be a good one for brothers to kind of look at, you know.
Yeah.
It's money.visualcapitalist. That's what it is. Money.visualcapitalist.
Okay.
That's what it is. Money.
Okay.
You got it.
Alright, visualizations, and then does it just come up? All the most money and the market in one visualization?
That's what we need to see.
Okay.
And then you scroll down.
Powering on.
And it says how the visualization works. It says each square this size is worth $100 billion. Okay, so when you look at that black square or whatever, that's the size of that market. So you're looking at silver. That's a $17 billion market. Cryptocurrency now. Now, when you're looking at cryptocurrency, it's around 6 of those black squares right now. $600 billion market, cryptocurrency. Okay? Now, look at the biggest companies. Berkshire Hathaway, Microsoft, Alphabet, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. Cryptocurrency has now creeped into the size of the largest companies, you know, in the U.S. and the world right now. Okay, it says Apple is the world's largest public company by market capitalization, worth $800 billion. So now you got cryptocurrencies worth $600 billion. Today, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, huge exchange with trillions of dollars flowing through it. They just plugged into the cryptocurrency markets. So now these traders in Wall Street can trade within the digital world and trade digital currency. Okay? Now, when you skip down, it says world richest people. It says in aggregate, when you put them all together, the world's richest people are worth a hefty $1.9 trillion. Okay, so you added Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, you know, all these people that we see, you know, not the people behind the scenes, but the people that we so-called see are worth around 1.9 trillion. Just keep scrolling down. California's, the state of California, 2.9 trillion. The Fed's balance sheet, 4.5 trillion. Okay? When you look at currency, you scroll down, you're looking at currency. Okay, banknotes, dollar bills, you know. Alright, so it has China, the Eurozone, the rest of the world, US, Japan, $7.6 trillion worth of just coins and banknotes flowing around the world. Gold is worth $7 trillion. Now look at the stock market. Okay? This is where I want to get to. Look at the stock market, bro. $73 trillion is in the stock market. The stock market is about to link up with cryptocurrency market. So people in the stock market will be able to flow some of these 73 trillions into cryptocurrency. Okay? So people saying cryptocurrency is in a bubble. No, my man. No. We just getting started. We're about to see something off the chain. Okay? And we ain't even looked at, when you look at the next one, it says global money supply. Okay? Narrow and broad money. Over 100 and something trillion. Look at debt. $215 trillion worth of debt, futures and derivative contracts and fucking bond, whatever. Treasury bonds, just crazy. Real estate bubble. Now that's a fucking bubble. $217 trillion in the real estate bubble. In the real estate market. The derivative market. $544 trillion. That's low ball. Look at all them black squares. So you got tons and tons of money that's about to be poured into these markets, and it's about to be something stupid. It's about to be something retarded. That's why when you go back to the crypto market capitalization, when you showing that chart and how it was just going straight up, how the Bitcoin chart was going straight up, and how they added 200 billion in 14, 15 days. What is it? It's December 17th. Today, right?
Yeah, they added 200 in about 15 days, 10 days actually.
Yeah, 15. Just by hooking up these online exchanges, just by hooking up the futures market, the Chicago Options Exchange, and now the CME and the Nasdaq is gonna be hooked up in June. Esau was making moves, baby. It takes money to make moves. See, people looking at a $20,000 Bitcoin and be like, damn, that's a lot. Because they got small minds. That ain't a lot. The elite ain't looking at $500 billion talking about, damn, that's a lot, bro. No, that ain't nothing. That ain't no money. Okay? You gonna find out what money is, bro. When you see them transferring wealth into these new systems.
Yeah.
And then they gonna transfer your ass into the system and upload you. Okay? But just like you said, once they got these people trapped into these markets, people ain't gonna be thinking about how the market works. So the scalability issue that we perceive, because we've been reading about these markets this whole time, and how Bitcoin is not gonna, you ain't gonna be able to send your Bitcoin, how the transaction fees for sending your Bitcoin are about to be ridiculous. People are going to be looking into another way of doing cryptocurrency. When you got a $100,000 Bitcoin and then you do a market crash, people are going to be like, oh shit, help me, Esau, help me. What are we going to do?
Yep.
And Esau going to be like, well, here's the answer.
Yep.
Here's the answer. So what you're going to see is these cryptocurrency markets, you think they exploding now?
Yeah, they're gonna explode.
No. They haven't even exploded yet.
Yep.
People still just looking and talking about it. Damn, I heard about Bitcoin, but they ain't getting no Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They just looking. But what we're about to see is people actively being placed into these platforms and systems, and then you'll see what's gonna really happen.
And if I could just say something real quick, it's interesting that you mentioned about hooking up to the stock market, because a lot of these tokens are pretty much just stocks based upon a blockchain. Like, you got a lot of companies now that if you buy their token, you might need the token to access their infrastructure, their service, but also by holding the token, a lot of them try and pay you a percentage of their profits, just like a stock holding does. You know, if you hold Apple stock at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken, Apple will pay you a percentage of their profits from that stock. So the way a stock works is, a stock is actually passive income. So you could earn money from holding that stock, or you can actually hold money by selling it at a higher price than you bought it at, which is the exact same principle of cryptocurrencies and tokens. Most tokens you buy into a company, that company will pay you a percentage of profits in the token or whatever, based upon their profits for that year. So ultimately, all these companies that you see in the stock market, they're going to go over to the blockchain anyway, and instead of offering stocks, they're going to be offering tokens. Marvel not if Apple don't have an Apple token. Marvel not if Amazon doesn't develop an Apple token. And you start seeing the Apple token on the cryptocurrencies, and then people start selling their Apple stocks, and they might say, well, you know what, we're going to transfer Apple stocks over to tokens now. So if you hold 100 Apple stocks or whatever, you now got 100 Apple tokens. Boom, instantly transferred over to the blockchain. Now you're in the blockchain, and like I'm going to go into, you got a bunch of people in the blockchain that ain't there because they care about being free. They're not there because they care about, you know, it's trustless and the banks and these governments, and we need freedom from the Illuminati. They're there because they're making money. And as soon as a problem occurs within the system, which I'm going to go into with scalability, right? And they don't want to get out. They want the money. When the solution is, well, we're going to take control of the blockchain, put some AIs in there. We're going to have some master nodes. We're going to take away some of the decentralized nature on there to make it work faster for you. Fuck it. It's either that or the whole system crashes, and everyone that made millions of dollars, you get to lose those billions of dollars just because you want blockchain to be decentralized. Come on, man. No way. There's no way. All these guys, yeah, blockchain decentralized. I hate the banks. I hate the governments. Okay, well, all right, well, it ain't working then. So you're gonna lose all that money. You're gonna go back down to Bitcoin being worth $100 so that you can have your blockchain decentralized. You know?
Yeah, man.
Your woman's gone.
You know, we were looking at that chart that we put into the WhatsApp, you know, and it was talking about the tech bubble crash, right? And so the tech bubble didn't even pop until how much money you had into that market. The tech bubble built up to $10 trillion. 10 trillion, bro. Before it popped. The real estate market had a little pop, and then they did QE1, QE2, QE15, whatever. But that thing was like, go back to the chart that shows real estate. Go to the chart that shows real estate. Big, you see all them black dots, bro? That's how big the real estate market is, big homie. All those black squares represent 100 billion. Okay? People say, oh, Bitcoin in the bubble. No, it's not, man. Look, bro. Esau got plans. In order to take over the world, you don't need trillions, bro. You best believe they got it. Okay?
Yep.
So now imagine how much 10 trillion was worth in 2000. Okay? Back, you know, versus how much 10 trillion is worth today.
Yep, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of money.
It might take like 25 trillion in order for this thing to pop.
And it's gonna happen fast. It's gonna happen fast. But the thing is, the problem is that the blockchain can't keep up with how fast this is happening.
That's right.
Let me see if I can get this thing up. Bitcoin transaction fees.
Oh yeah, because that's gonna be the big problem, bro. That's gonna be the issue, bro. And I don't think that, bro, you're gonna see those issues happen probably next year.
It's gonna explode over the January. Once people start coming in heavy, oh boy. Yep. And it takes ages, takes long for transactions to go through.
Man. Yeah, man. It's annoying right now.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
They're gonna have to come up with this scalability. This is hey, check this out. The last.
Yeah, let me see.
Look at that spike, and this is because of what's just happened. It went from like $1 average transaction fee being less than $1 to being $26 right now.
Look at that shit. So ain't nobody going, you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
That's gonna be the issue, bro. And they knew this shit, man. They knew this shit. They knew it, and they gonna use it for a means of control. You know.
Yep.
They use it for a means of control, bro.
And that's the snare. Right now, the snare of blockchain and the cryptocurrency market is the money that people can potentially make, and it's just dragging people in. And the elites know exactly what they're doing. They're gonna lock people in, and once your money's locked into something, you'll do whatever it takes to keep that money. You do whatever it takes to keep that money. Your ideologies go out the window, man. All that anti-bank talk.
Yeah, when you got your woman looking at your ass, talking about, I told you not to be messing with that stuff.
Hey, because there's a lot of brothers. There's a lot of people going from nobody to somebody right now off this Bitcoin. Going from straight up nobody. It's a wealth transfer that's happening, and it's only gonna continue. It's only gonna continue.
I done met several crypto millionaires. Several of them, bro. Working the back warehouse. 2 months later, be like, yo, bro, when you gonna come to me to Vegas, man? Yeah, man.
Yep.
Chilling.
Yep, that's right.
So you gonna see more and more of that. And that's how they gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Yep.
You know?
That's exactly how they're locking the people in. So let me get into this thing. Let me get into this article right here. But that's exactly what it is, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Let's go, champ. Alright, man, I'm gonna let you get to your thing, man. Hey, man, beautiful work, man. Yabashim Shabrakata.
Shalom.
Alright, shalom.
Hey, man, there's a lot, man. There's a lot that's going on, man. You got to be watching this stuff. All right. Now, this is the issue, because like the elder Ariella was just going into recently, man. If you've been in Bitcoin, the scalability is starting to rear its ugly head, and it's something that a lot of people didn't really want to be talking about, but it is what it is. If you want Bitcoin to be that thing, that market, you got to be able to deal with the amount of transactions that's going to be happening. And it's a scalability issue. So I'm going to read some of this article, and this is the snare right here, because the ultimate solution to the scalability is going to be AI and taking away a lot of the decentralized nature of the blockchain. And they're already setting that up, because no one's really coming out with a solution for this. So blockchains don't scale, not today at least, but there's hope. Now they need it today. They need Bitcoin, and these cryptocurrencies need scaling today, because as you can see, the markets are exploding today. This isn't 2013. This is now. They need it now, and this is going to become a major issue over the next 6 months as more and more people come into that space and are making money. What's going to be holding the whole system back is scalability. It says decentralized digital currency, once just a far-fetched goal, is finally making inroads into the mainstream. And like we've shown you, that's just happened in the last 10 days. Bitcoin is exploding, and it's now getting the attention of the mainstream. It's about to launch on the SME tonight, on the 18th. Okay? Now, while that's exciting on its own merit, I'm personally most excited about the potential for decentralized applications. Financial exchanges, prediction markets, and asset management platforms all carry enormous potential. The trustless systems supporting them are no less intriguing. Identity verification systems, smart property, censorship-resistant social platforms, and autonomous structures and governance models like DAOs. The most disruptive use cases probably haven't even been dreamt up yet. But this dream still remains a dream for the foreseeable future. While a few early enthusiasts and entrepreneurs are experimenting with building such applications, there's still a big missing piece that prevents us from seeing these applications come to fruition. Scalability. Blockchains as it stands today are limited in their ability to scale. That's not to say that this will be the case forever, but it's definitely true today. In fact, I'd argue it's one of the biggest technological barriers we face with blockchain technology today. It's quickly become a very active area of research among researchers in the community and cryptocurrency in general. Why isn't the blockchain scalable? Currently, all blockchain consensus protocols, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Tendermint, which have all exploded in the last 10 days, have a challenging limitation. Every fully participating node in the network must process every transaction. So if you understand the blockchain has many nodes worldwide, and all these different nodes has to process every single transaction. Every time somebody uses Ethereum, uses Bitcoin to sell, to buy, to transfer, that's a transaction, and all the nodes has to verify that. That's what makes it decentralized. Recall that blockchains have one inherent critical characteristic: decentralization. And the decentralized nature of the blockchain is what brought a lot of the early people into it, because they're anti-centralization, anti-government, anti-central bank, and they're anti all those things, right? Which means that every single node on the network processes every transaction and maintains a copy of the entire state. While a decentralized consensus mechanism offers some critical benefits, such as fault tolerance, a strong guarantee of security, political neutrality, and authenticity, it comes at the cost of scalability. The number of transactions the blockchain can process can never exceed that of a single node that is participating in the network. In fact, the blockchain actually gets weaker as more nodes are added to its network because of the internode latency that logarithmically increases with every additional node. So in terms of scalability, in terms of the blockchain being able to operate with the masses, it actually gets worse the larger the blockchain becomes. This is a problem because, let's look, this increase in value is because of the large masses of people who are now buying into the market. It's the increase in demand, not the there's more demand. More demand equals more transactions. More transaction means what? You're going to start having more scalability issues, right? This is the trap. But people are still making large amounts of money, so people are flooding in. But there's going to come a point where this problem is going to have to be solved real fast, real quick, or this is going to go down in the opposite direction just as fast. Believe me. Because once a system is broken and it doesn't work, everyone's going to be looking to get out back into the safety of what? Dollars. They're going to go back. They're going to take their money and go back. And anyone left holding is going to be hurt. Okay? So, it says, let's read on, right? In a traditional database system, the solution to scalability is to add more servers, compute power. That's where quantum computing will come in. Okay, they're going to bring in these quantum computers, and the quantum computers are going to handle the blockchain. This is what's going to happen. But it's not going to be no longer loads of different nodes. There's going to just be super nodes. This is where it's heading, and these people are going to accept it because they're not going to want to lose the wealth that they just generated. All right, boom, that's the snare. Okay, and it's all leading into the mark of the beast, because the mark of the beast is going to be built on this system. That's what it's for. All right, it says to handle the added transactions in the decentralized blockchain world where every node needs to process and validate every transaction, it will require us to add more compute to every node for the network to get faster. Having no control over every public node in the network leaves us in a pickle. Because the blockchain is public and decentralized, you can't control whose computers are working on the blockchain. So you can't turn around and make all those computers into supercomputers. So the very nature of the blockchain that first brought people into the blockchain is now working against the wealth that they wanna build. So what's gonna win? Their ideology or the wealth that they are amassing? Well, I think we all know what people love more than ideology: money. As a result, all public blockchains consensus protocols that operate in a decentralized manner make the trade-off between low transaction throughput and a high degree of centralization. Okay? In other words, as the size of the blockchain grows, the requirements for storage bandwidth and compute power required by fully participating in the network increases. At some point, it becomes unwieldy enough that it's only feasible for a few nodes to process a block, leading to the risk of centralization. Boom! This is what's going to happen. And remember, we told you, what is eventually going to happen is, as the masses of these people flood into the blockchain, flood into Bitcoin, make money upon money upon money upon money, the blockchain is going to have to move away from being decentralized and more towards being centralized. Alright? And they're probably going to sweeten the deal by saying, oh, we're going to let an AI control it. Instead of a straight up government, it's going to be an AI that's going to control it. That's where it's heading. Right here. Let me read that again. At some point, it becomes unwieldy enough that it's only feasible for a few nodes, master nodes, super nodes, super quantum computing nodes, to process a block, leading to the risk of decentralization. In order to scale, the blockchain protocol must figure out a mechanism to limit the number of participating nodes needed to validate each transaction without losing the network's trust that each transaction is valid. And that's where your AI is going to come in. So they're setting up, right now they're setting up a situation where all these people are flooding into blockchain. They're flooding in and they're making money hand over fist. Look at the greens. Look at the greens. If you invested in Bitcoin 7 days ago, you've already made 34% on your money. If you invested in Ripple, you've made 209%. Cardano, you've made 363%. Stellar, you've made 119%. EOS, you've made 120%. Tron, you've made, what was it? Tron, you made 764%. Yeah? Yeah? You see what I'm talking about? In 7 days. You understand? This is the trap that they've set. Blockchain is nothing more than a trap. Yeah? They're going to bring the people in, move the money over, and at some point, it's going to be at breaking point. And a solution is going to have to be brought forth. And it's a solution which they've already prepared, because the blockchain has always been a part of the plans for the New World Order and the Mark of the Beast system, as we detailed earlier in the video. Yeah, the whole blockchain feeds right into Psalms, the 64th chapter and the 6th verse, the 5th verse to the 6th verse. It's always been part of the elite's plan. Always. And they brought it in, and they had the people who were against them build it up. It's a snare. Bitcoin is nothing more than a giant snare right now for the masses. Now, you can still go in there and make money off Bitcoin, with the understanding that Bitcoin ain't gonna save you, man. Okay? Bitcoin ain't gonna save you from the power structure. Yahweh Shai is gonna save you. Now, we could be smart and make money while we can. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But the blockchain is not the answer to the world tyranny. It's actually a tool of world tyranny. Okay? And it's gonna lead to the mark to the mark of the beast. Alright, I had another article here that I wanted to bring out. Where was it? Look at this. Why blockchain is perfect for building a distributed AI platform. SingularityNet is building the world's first AI as a service platform. CEO Ben Glucksel explains how it works. The next AI revolution is going to solve these problems. It's going to bring more intelligence. It's going to coordinate and connect many different special AIs together. Right now, you've got a whole bunch of AIs that are being developed by different companies. Ultimately, all those AIs are going to be controlled by one AI. One super AI. And who do you think is going to control that AI? The elites. Who's going to control the blockchain? The elites. Therefore, who's going to control the world and all the transactions? The elites. And it's going to enable AI to be applied to broader benefit. Alright, here we go again. Blockchain gives users the ability to create a decentralized network of AIs where anyone can post their AI online and the AI can participate in the network. Right? And they keep pushing this decentralization. But ultimately, it's not going to be decentralized. It's going to be a network, but it's not going to be decentralized, man. In the end, because of the scalability issue, it's going to have to go the way of centralization. And the people are going to accept it because they're already going to be sold out to the new system. And it's going to be too late. And they're going to accept what's coming. They're going to accept the regulation. They're going to accept the centralization to try and keep that which they already have. The fear of loss. Alright? But I think that's the point on that, man. Let's read it again. Psalm 64:5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Alright? We're letting you know that this whole cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin and the blockchain is a snare that's being set up by the elites. And they're going to draw the masses of the people in. They're going to draw the masses of the people into the system. And then they're going to control it. And through AI, through master nodes, through centralization, through regulation. And the infrastructure is going to become theirs. Alright? And they're going to use that power to establish. They use that technology and that system and that infrastructure to establish exactly, bringing it all back home again, what the Lord said they would do. Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. This is the end goal. And it's being the plan is being brought out before your very eyes, man. And you can look for, like the elder Ariella pointed out, man, look for Bitcoin to keep going the way it's been going. It's not in a bubble. It's going to continue to rise. And it's that very same stellar rise that's going to lead to the problem, which they're already going to have the solution ready and waiting for that problem that's going to eventually happen. As the masses are maneuvered away from the old system into the new system, which is blockchain. Alright, the old system was the stock market and Visa and MasterCard. Blockchain is the new system, and it's still the elite system. Look at that. It's going to burst 600 billion today, no doubt. Okay, look at the volume in the last 24 hours. 31 billion. And Bitcoin is dominating the hell out of the markets. 55.7%. Woo! Alright? So 2018 is going to be the year of the blockchain, man. The year that blockchain changed everything. Transition. And there's going to be some pain, but they're going to make sure that that transition goes in. And right now, they're making sure as much piece of the people as possible get locked in. Alright? Let's have a look at the comment boards. Yep, personal artificial intelligence for the new AI economy. Hey, it's all going down, man. So hopefully, you know, brothers was further educated on the blockchain and how it plays into the mark of the beast, and how Esau is already setting up the strategy to get the people to jump over into the new infrastructure. Alright? And then eventually, in order for you to access the blockchain, this is what you're going to need to have. Where's my man Aaron Rousseau? Okay, eventually, in order for you to act. Now I want to play this guy, because this guy, Ariella, you like this, man. This guy makes some good points before I leave about the whole Bitcoin futures market and how I thought Bitcoin was about decentralized power. But if the Bitcoin futures market is making people with holding Bitcoin more money, all them people that were all about decentralized power ain't gonna care no more. And that's just the nature of people, man. Money, man. Money change everything. Oh shit. Hold on, let me put this mic on.
Powering on.
Like, and everyone who's now been introduced to the blockchain conversation tonight or this evening or this morning, wherever, you know, whatever. We're gonna have a discussion about like Bitcoin futures, and the question, I thought Bitcoin was about decentralized power. So Bitcoin futures, as I alluded to in my last video, provides new financial tools and mechanisms to move risk across the markets. So bigger organizations can come in and build tools and technology and teams around Bitcoin and the blockchain, probably in general. So, I mean, you know, from that perspective, it sounds good, and it's kind of appealing, because there's more human initiative into ensuring the blockchain has the attention, love, and focus that it deserves. But on the other hand, it adds this really weird dynamic where essentially, like, the whales and the big players in the game can suddenly kind of control the price through surrounding mechanisms. So based off of a whole number of things that I don't truly understand, can provide the means of control, or not to say control, influence, and introducing systems that incentivize or create a path towards keeping the price perhaps where a smaller percentage of people are kind of deciding that game, as opposed to a decentralized model where the chaos of it all somewhat creates order, and it seems to be equal order in a lot of cases. And so it's interesting because Bitcoin started out as a cryptocurrency really touting the power and influence and potential of decentralized networks. But it seems as we reach maturity, and it's not really a surprise, because, I mean, blockchain and Bitcoin and Ethereum and Monero and all these other cryptocurrencies seem to be ahead of the shift that's been required, I think, amongst ourselves to think about these cryptocurrencies. Like, they're here, but we don't really understand why they're important yet. They're just here. But like, the core tenet is decentralized systems and people and relationships that are still autonomous but working towards a united singular goal. And so I think Bitcoin futures, begs the question of how do we think about this new shifting of power, and what does that mean for decentralized systems in general? Because these bigger financial tools provide systems of control that maybe the original founders or even the current people participating in the network, or anybody for that matter who it seems like got into blockchain for its decentralized capabilities, So there seems to be a conflicting values coming to the market. There's this need for decentralization, then there's this need for stability, so we can have more focus on research and building tools and providing services for people. Well, this chaotic...
Battery is near empty. Time to recharge.
So conflicting motives, conflicting values, conflicting ways of seeing the market, or at least in my opinion, seems a little bit conflicting, or maybe different sides of the same coin might be a good way to put it. But I just really want to bring to the table of like, what do the Bitcoin futures mean in a decentralized model? Do they impact it at all? Is the impact high? Is the impact low? Will the nature of decentralized capabilities potentially kind of shield themselves from some of these centralizing powers? You know, what's the balance look like? You know, obviously I don't have the answer to that, but I think, you know, these questions are going to be important coming up in 2018, 2019. Some of these real foundations that we lay down for blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then all the others that are in the space is, you know, what tools and what culture do we build around these cryptocurrencies? Because beyond just the technology...
yeah, I mean, you heard him there. That's the conflict. It's supposed to be started off as a decentralized system, but now it's no, bro. It's not gonna be that anymore. That was never gonna be the end of the deal. Okay, it's never gonna be the end of the deal. Okay, all right, and that's beginning to come to light. But as people are making more and more money, they're just not gonna care anymore. Okay, so this guy made a lot of good points, and exactly what we've been seeing, that there's now a shift. There's gonna be a shift because all this money is gonna blind all these people. There's gonna be a shift away from that. Now, what I want to do is real quick before I left, I want to get a clip up that we brought up from an earlier algorithm from Mrs. Lang, part 1. Let's see if I can get her. She had all these
until it suits them otherwise, because the otherwise piece is that cryptocurrency space, which people think go around the system until it suits them. Until
let me play my girl, man. She hurt a lot of people, man, but we can see that the big setup is in, man. They're about to set the people up real bad. All these people are gonna get locked right in the very system that they went into blockchain supposedly to escape from.
It suits them otherwise, because the otherwise piece is that cryptocurrency space.
Hey, shalom, Yabashim Shabakta. Yeah, okay. Let me put you on loudspeaker. Yeah, go ahead. You on loudspeaker.
Hey, shalom. Just coming back one more time. The reason why, the brother Required Form, he showed a clip about the futures markets and how, okay, if this is supposed to be a decentralized, revolutionary market, why is the cryptocurrency market wanting big Wall Street money to come in, when they have the ability to manipulate the market? And what I'm gonna type this into the comment board. I want brothers to look up is naked short gold market. Okay? Or naked shorting the gold market. Okay? And how the elite are able to suppress and control the price of gold and silver and other top commodities / equities by doing something called naked shorts and entering and moving around hundreds of billions of dollars worth of gold at one time, and and selling it in one market and buying it in another market to keep the price of gold. The price of gold hasn't really increased since like 2010, which is ridiculous. That it's just flat, you know. And so that shows you the power that Wall Street has with manipulation of these markets. The brother, he showed you what was called the Doomsday Ledger. What was the technical term?
Doomsday Book.
The Doomsday Book. How these guys are able to kind of, how they've scientifically made the markets. You know, how they created a system of equations in order to control how things are bought and sold. So when you take his, you know, his craft, and you take his mischief and add it into these cryptocurrency markets, literally what he can do with this is endless, bro. It's endless. Just because you can store endless amounts of information within these blockchains and use it and break it down into little tokens. Okay, this token's going to do that, and it's going to hold all this data. This token is going to do that, and it's going to hold all this data. And then you can put those tokens on an infinite amount of wallets, okay, and store it in a chip very easily. Very easily, man. So now that this money, these futures markets, these big large exchanges, the Nasdaq, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the CME, once Wall Street hooked onto this thing, man, they are going to be in control of how the market grows, shrinks, expands, scales. It will go at the rate that they wish. They can dump out, and once they start buying up all the coins, they can dump, suppress the prices how they want to, you know? Because people are sheep. They're sheep, man. You know? They're not gonna, the Nasdaq's not gonna come in and have these Wall Street companies are not gonna come in and buy, every pay period, I'm gonna give me $100 of Bitcoin. No, bro. They're gonna be getting millions and millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin at a chunk at a time. On exchanges all across the world, instantaneously, bro. You know? So one good way to see that is just type in naked short and gold, so you can see how they manipulate the gold market, and then that can show you the power that they can use in these cryptocurrency markets, man. You know? But first, the money has to get into the market to manipulate it. That's why I'm not big with, bro. This thing's about to ridiculously skyrocket. And we know just because of the prophecies. The prophecies telling us what they're going to do. The prophecies, when you read there in Revelation, when you read there in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, when you read the book of Job, 20th chapter, okay, Micah 2 and 2, okay, Psalms 64, Psalms, you know, you read all of these things, man, shoot, you can see what he's doing, man. It just makes sense, okay, it just makes sense. But I just wanted to add that point, man, for brothers, man, because sometimes we'll be listening to this stuff and we'll be shaking our head, but then we need to compare it to something in order for it to make sense, you know. So that's one comparison. Is look up the naked shorting of the gold market, and it'll show you the importance of these guys adding themselves into these cryptocurrency markets and what it can do, you know. All right, big homie, you about to play the Lynette Zane?
Yeah, I'm gonna close up on Lynette Zane because she kind of said the same thing, man. They're about to. It looks like, you know, the people are in control, and already these people gonna be in control. But they want, you see, unlike gold, they don't want people in the gold market, but they want people in this blockchain, and so they're about to they're gonna open it up, man. They're gonna about to legitimize that. They're gonna give people just enough profits to make people buy in.
Yeah, man. The Esau right now, he's sitting up in his penthouse somewhere in Switzerland, you know, with the windows open, looking down on the peons in the city. He got some rock music in the background, shirt off. Are you ready to rock? Just did a line of cocaine. You know, fresh batch of baby's blood in his goblet. He ready to rock, baby. You know, he's about to get it.
Yeah.
Alright, bro, man.
Alright, man.
I'm gonna leave you to it, man. Shalom.
Hey, shalom, man. Yabashim Shabakta, man.
Shalom.
Yeah. So I'm gonna close up on this Lynette Zhang. I mean, she was breaking it down, man. So it's oops.
But I'm actually going to be talking about this on Thursday. The reality is it was outlined in '96 by the NSA, and then smart contracts were outlined by a peer-to-peer review journal in '97. So I don't think it's outside of the system. I think it is the belly of the beast. And typically, when there is a money standard shift, they need to inspire voluntary cooperation. They don't want the pushback. And so that goes along with the Amazon effect in getting people into and feeling comfortable with that cyberspace, so that once you're in it, then, you know, then they really do have full control. It's not really around the system. It isn't.
So what you're saying is, and we're talking about the blockchain technology, the crypto market, you're saying that this was created by the bankers?
I'd say that the government and the bankers certainly, and the attorneys certainly had a hand in it. At least it looks like that from my research.
And you're saying...
I'll put that out there. Everybody can follow the links and
yeah, when she said that, man, you had people on the comment board cursing her out. You don't know what you're talking about, because like I said, a lot of people that are in Bitcoins came in there as some form of rebellion against the banks and the governments, man. But Lynette Zhang shat on all that. And them same people right now, they don't care, man. Because them same people, they were holding like 50 Bitcoins from 2000. They're rich, man, so they don't give a fuck right now. But they were hurt. They were hurt, man. Because for them, this was the way out of the system. But like I said, as more and more money comes into the system and these same people are making money, they're not going to care, man. They're just not going to care.
Check them out, and you can draw your own conclusions. But yeah, I think this was planned. And the other part that I saw when I was putting this together is the timing of when Bitcoin came out, which was January of 2009. And what happened on March 9th of 2009 was the start of the QE. I'm sorry, there were so many, and presumably this was all brand new technology. The guy started working on the code in 2007. I don't think so. That's not true. It's not true.
So do you think this was done on purpose to usher us or direct us into a new currency? Is that what they're trying to do?
100%. That's my opinion. 100%, because the old system, which is based upon never-ending compounding debt and compounding interest, does not function anymore. And they knew that in '97, because that, well, maybe shortly after '97. But when you look at that period of time, in the mid-90s to the 2000s, there were a lot of things that happened and a lot of shifts that occurred. But in '97, that was peak debt. In other words, the ability to grow, to create economic stimulation via debt, that's when it peaked, was in '97. And that's also when they came out, started coming out with the speculative derivatives to add leverage to the system. So yes, I absolutely, they knew that the end was there now, back in the 90s, and then of course we had the NASDAQ bubble that distracted you from what happened with long-term capital management, which is when the global financial system almost imploded. We taxpayers bailed them out. Did you guys know that? But we taxpayers bailed them out, and Wall Street bailed them out. And then we were off to the races again, and we had the NASDAQ bubble that popped, and then we had 9/11 that popped, and so our rights were then started to be obviously, more contained. But yeah, they knew that then. So why not suck as much as you can out of the system via these speculative derivatives until that bubble burst in 2008? And, you know, and this whole time we've been on life support just to keep the system alive, to get this next piece in place. And when you look at the price action on and involvement, participation in the crypto space, I mean, I can see the story it's painting me. I'm an artist. I see patterns. Those patterns are super obvious. They're just obvious. But if you're not looking, if you're just looking at the day-to-day gyrations, you're not going to see the patterns. That's why you got to stand back and take a look at the real picture, not the little pieces inside of that picture, which is what most people look at.
Yeah, she's showing you, man. And they're gonna, this cryptocurrency, do you see this? The more people that end up believing, see, right now they're pushing out there that this is a bubble, but pretty soon it's gonna become clear to most people that this is not a bubble. And what that's gonna do is, well, why will you buy stocks? Why buy stocks, okay, when you can buy Bitcoin and earn so much more? Why? But people think that that's going to be against the system. It's not, because they're the ones that's setting it up. They're the ones that's going to stagnate these other markets to make the cryptocurrency market look real juicy. And the juicier the cryptocurrency market looks, the more people are going to buy in, and their position is no longer going to be in the stock market. You got more and more hedge funds buying Bitcoin. Hedge funds are starting to buy Bitcoin. Yeah? The hedge funds are now starting to put their money into Bitcoin because it's more profitable than putting their money in the stock market. This is on purpose. This is the snare. Alright? But anyway, I mean, that's it on that, man. I hope brothers were definitely edified, man. The mark of the beast is around the corner. If you receive the mark of the beast pursuant to Revelations 14:9, you're going to be destroyed. Okay, and they're actively building the system that the mark of the beast is going to rest upon. And in that day, the pressure is going to be on. The system is going to be fully functioning. They're going to control the resources. And in order for you to access the resources which are going to be available through the blockchain, you're going to have that chip. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be a great temptation, man, to the people of the earth, man. But to the men of the Lord, man, they're going to resist that because we trust in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But the point is that we're here to let people know so that you understand these things before they happen. Because like me and the Elder Ariella are saying, you might not know about blockchain right now, but in 2018, you're going to know about blockchain, you're going to know about AI, you're going to know all of those technologies are going to converge in your everyday life. And you're going to be like, wow. Okay? So, until the next Algo, hopefully you've been edified. With that, I'm going to say shalom.